Well guys, welcome back. So, we've done a bit more of an update. Not going to be the biggest of episodes, so we'll crack on. I'm going to be trying to film this in a different resolution to see if it makes a difference. Means I'll be able to record longer. So hopefully we're getting on the steps to being able to do some painting tutorials, well, painting videos, which I've had several requests for now, so we'll see. Where did we get up to last week? Well, we just started doing all the black work on these chaps. I'll pick up this big steed, and as we can see, that's done. Now, let's get the pointing paintbrush. So, as you can see, the Drakenhof Nightshade had our little black contrast wash, which is black Templar and contrast medium, about 50-50. Maybe leaning a little more heavy on the black. This is just to get it so it doesn't coffee stain, which works very well. So that was applied all over the areas that I want to end up black. So all the ones with Drakenhof Nightshade on, as well as all of the areas that are going to be steel. I'll just wet the tip so it actually points. All the bits that are going to be steel. So we've done that on all of the miniatures, steeds and riders. So the next step after that was then going and doing the flesh. Now, my original intention was doing, again, just to get it moving, but predominantly Fyreslayer flesh. So I wanted to go a little Middle Eastern, because I've done a lot of Caucasian skin on my army, so I've never done Middle Eastern. This seems like the perfect theme, so that's what I went with. So I did that, and it was coming out still looking more Mediterranean, like Greek, Italian skin tones, and it's not as dark as I wanted. So fortunately, I suppose, when I did the first one of the riders, accidentally put on Guilliman flesh with the contrast medium instead, and I thought, well, that came out really light, so I'll just whack the Fyreslayer flesh over, and that one was darker than all the others, and coincidentally was kind of the skin tone that I had pictured when attempting this. So one of our little riders here, this is the end result. A very quick, because that's all these are meant to be, is just some quick tabletop minis. Some very quick Middle Eastern, at least to me, like Iranian, Persian, whatever you want to call it, skin. I'm very happy with it. So from a distance, I think that fits the bill quite nice. So that's what I've done on all of these. That took a lot longer than I thought it was going to take, so I didn't get too much further than that, but what I have done is I've started doing the metalworks. I've only done it on 2 of the steeds, and it's going to be done with the steel, and dark aluminium from Vallejo Metal Cutter. So we start with the steel, and I also have the dark aluminium on hand, and after I've done that, I'll then eat a section of that, say, or go and highlight it off. Now what I found with these is to get a lot of control with the brush is you have to wick it off, which, if you're not aware, is where you, in fact you can see where I've done it on here, little dabs. So it's where you dip your paint into, so you brush into the paint, and you'll have a lot of paint, soaked up in here, a lot of moisture. Now the particles are great, that's what you want to use, all the pigment, but the moisture, not so much. So you just dab it onto a paper towel, kitchen towel, and then it soaks some of the moisture out, giving you a lot more control with the paint, like a lot more control. If you haven't done this with your paints, no matter what you're doing, try it. Save maybe for wet blending, because that moisture helps. So anyway, as you can see, we'll take this one. I have our 2 steeds here. So the most obvious place is on the, get my big finger out of the way, on the leg armour here. So that's had the dark metal put all over, and then I've just looked at where the natural light is and just shaded that in with the dark aluminium, which, as you move, so I've placed it kind of on the top ridge and around here, and then I've also placed it on the bottom because that's the opposite side, so light should catch on the raised areas down here. So when you move it, it catches a lot of light. See what I mean? This is off my lamp and that's catching a lot of reflection, but when you actually see it in person, I'm having trouble capturing it. You get the idea. It's lighter on the top. And that is from that black armour. So the black contrast that was put on there doesn't look very neat. That's fine, because all it is giving us a black layer to put our metals over. And if I can zoom in on this armour, I've kind of left the deepest recesses black. Yeah, there we go. So I've left the deepest recesses black, which means it speeds up the process, you don't get any overspill, and it gives depth of contrast, which is what you want. And I've done that on, as you can see, oh, are we going to play ball? There we go. We've done it on all the metals on the steed. Now, the ones that don't look, so the bits that don't look too amazing is the metal braid, chain, whatever you want to call it, down here. That's because I've got to go in, and on each of these little connection points I've got to go in and just put a dab of gold, which will be the next stage, and what will be going over all this sepia. So guys, that is this week's video. Not a very long one, I know, but that's my weekly update. I've just finished a contract at work, so hopefully I'll be able to start getting out some miniatures at a quicker rate in the upcoming week or so, if I don't have one of several contracts that I've applied for come through. So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to do some painting videos. We'll see what happens. Till then, just stopping by, check us out on Twitter, and I'll catch you next time. Well guys, that's the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, like, comment and subscribe. Also be sure to check out our Facebook page at Wolfing Studios, the link's in the description. As always, thanks for stopping by, catch you next time.